you, but like that just makes me so sick. And the fact that this coach knew that this all was going on.
Yeah, the more that this goes on, I feel like it's just from right now. There's nowhere near he can get like another job, even like Division 2, Division 3. There's
been some rumblings that he could be the long-term replacement here at Tech. There's no way. I don't see the athletics department selling their soul to get Art Briles here in North Texas.
I don't want him at this point.
Yeah,
I don't care how desperate we are.
I don't think personally I would watch another Tech football game if we hired Art Briles.
I wouldn't go.
Yeah,
protests ensue if that would happen. Like
that is something I would
huge
go to.
Protest.
Exactly. I mean, you hit it right on the head, Andrew. Why would we want to sell our morals just to get a couple more wins? Sure, we could use them, not going to lie. But honestly, I mean, I'd rather keep our humanity. Yeah, exactly. That's just, it's disgusting, it's disgraceful, and I hope Briles does not find another job.
He's stupid. For how much is going on right now with, like, women always talking about, like, I mean, it's a big thing right now. Like, don't blame the victim. Don't do any of that. And Briles is like, well, why was she over there where they were? Like, how stupid can she be?
How about you keep your players in line and teach them how to be decent men? Like, how about that?
Even then, like, they shouldn't even have to be kept in line. You're a grown man. Like,
exactly. You're already, in your 20s at least.
Know not to do that.
Say what you will about Cliff Kingsbury, but when stuff happens with his football team, like this past weekend, there's an incident with a fight between two of his incoming freshmen. The person who was guilty and caused the fight, he's now off the team. He's out of here.
Yeah.
Like, he does not put up with this kind of stuff.
No,
and Briles could learn a lesson from that.
Andrew, how long was he there for again?
Like 10 days.
10 days.
10 days. That's a crying shame. But that's a whole another conversation in and of itself. What else we got? We got Pop.
I just saw Pop's name and I was like, Brian likes Pop. I'll read that one.
you know me all too well.
Good old Popovich.
Brandon, you and I are diehard Spurs fans. What are your thoughts on Pop's words about Black History Month and his remarks towards Trump?
I think a lot of times you got to just look at Popovich as kind of like that old granddad, just not going to let go of his ways. You know what I mean? He's kind of like one of those guys who's just like,
it's Pop.
He's stuck in his ways, not going to care what you think about it. And he's very vocal, which I can appreciate. I think anybody who's very vocal and out there, I can appreciate, whether sometimes I agree with them, sometimes I don't. Well, Greg Popovich has always been one that you kind of just either laugh at because of how outrageous he gets, or you take him super serious because he's Greg Popovich and he's one of the best coaches of all time.
Yeah, Pop's just one of those people. He's kind of a man of few words, but when he speaks, you listen. Yeah. He always has something impactful to say. Just like you said, whether he's just being tongue-in-cheek, trying to be funny, or he's saying his mind and people are going to listen to him because he's just one of the most well-respected people in sports, period.
Yeah, and like I was telling you, he just tied the most wins ever in the NBA with one franchise, so good old Pop. One more win, man. One more win. He leads it.
And what are the other headlines you discussed, Haylee? We had that high school doing the Nazi goose step thing going on.
Mm-hmm. In Houston, some high school seniors for their senior class pick where they did the Hail Hitler sign, or Nazi sign, and then I won't demonstrate it, but
don't do that. That would not be good for us.
Hail Hitler and Hail Trump while they were doing it. So,
look, I'm all for speaking your voice and peaceful protest, but that's seniors, too much, fam.
These were seniors in high school?
17, 18-year-old guys.
So guys that are, like, that are just, I don't know. Like, I just feel like that's a very confusing time in school when this transition is happening from Obama to Trump. Because I remember when I was in, like, middle school, and I saw the inauguration of, the first one of Obama. I was just, I didn't know, like, the gravity of the situation at the time. But now that I've grown with him, and then now that I see him phased out, it's kind of weird seeing all of the high schoolers and middle schoolers kind of, like, react to the transition. Like, this is insane. I mean, I, like, in a sense where it's just, like, how people are reacting to it, or in school.
Well, sorry, go ahead. I think it's just interesting because, like you said, Andy, they're high schoolers, they're kids, and so...
Very impressionable.
Yeah, they are. So a lot of this, I think, comes from the influence of the outside world on them, like, I don't necessarily, I'm not saying parents, but, just people that they're close to, adults that have influence in their life, or just what they see, like, through the media and on the internet kind of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, now it's just we're living in a time where the gap is just getting smaller and smaller with, access to Facebook and Instagram and everything, where everyone with a computer in their pocket can just tweet out or send a, notification or something like, hey, this is what I think about Trump, and boom, it's in there within a matter of seconds. So anyone could do it now. I mean, heck, we probably have middle schoolers out there talking about Trump right now, even though they're not even old enough to vote yet. It was definitely different when we were growing up, and that wasn't even that long ago. So I think it's just going to get even more politically driven as technology improves.
I feel like there should be parents out there right now telling their kids, "Hey, you can be on social media, but you can only be on MySpace." I'm sorry.
Does it still exist? I don't even know.
It still exists.
And Zynga.
Up there somewhere.
What do they even do with MySpace?
I don't know.
Doesn't Justin Timberlake own it?
Yeah, or something like that.
legit?
He tried to bring it back.
Yeah, no,
But
legit.
like, if I was
That's
a parent,
awesome.
you can only access these social media accounts.
Thank God I never
If
had a MySpace.
You're under
dude.
my house.
There's no way you never had a MySpace. If you didn't have a MySpace, you were not cool. Brian.
My hand to
I did
God,
not.
I never had a MySpace account.
I never
Oh,
Come
had
on,
dude,
you
I
never
promise.
had MySpace?
I had a background. I had the little playlist where you could
Nope.
put songs
Yeah,
on.
same.
Same.
I was one of the early Facebook bandwagoners, so that's
Yeah.
how I got my start with social media stuff, but I never had a MySpace. You can look it up. We all have our laptops here. You can search all you want. You'll never find a MySpace. Go for it. I challenge you.
Your boy had Papa Roach as his song.
Oh yeah.
It was My Chemical Romance. Okay,
I
so why don't you
alternated
watch?
between Angels and Airwaves and Taking Back Sunday. That was my jams back in like 05.
Super edgy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
like it.
We all went through that stage. Don't try to deny it. Even Haley.
It's not a
I
stage,
did not
Mom.
have a MySpace.
You,
I had-
so
I
you
t-
didn't have a MySpace
I had
either?
a Twitter because I talked my mom into it. I was like, it's the least characters, so it has to be the least dangerous. I was wrong.
Oh,
It's
man.
really-
I was wrong.
Wrong. Well, speaking of social media, thank you for joining us on our Facebook live stream. We're going to go ahead and go into a quick music break, but coming up, we're going to be talking some sports, some Super Bowl, all that good stuff, so do not go anywhere. It's GMTT. Next up, we got Dolly Spartans. Time sides with no one. Keep it locked to the left, y'all.
Hey.
I keep having trouble playing the video, but I shared it.
Hello, Facebook people. What is
yeah.
going on? Music's still playing over here in our speakers, so I'm afraid I can't hear myself talking, but that's okay. So, as we just mentioned, we're going to be going over some sports updates with your boys, Brandon and Andrew. We're going to be talking some Super Bowl. We're going to be going around giving your picks. So, while we talk about that, let us know what you think, who you got for this Super Bowl Sunday. You got Falcons or the Patriots? Let us know and why. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Abel Medina, shout out. I
debate you on
see you
Facebook.
watching, man. Give us that.
Oh, I can't wait to
Stone
see
Cold
what
lock prediction
Abel
of the
says.
Super Bowl. Super Bowl LI.
Dad, don't say anything dumb and embarrass me, brother. Come on now. Make a good pick.
Yeah.
Y'all had an interesting discussion about it, and y'all show overreaction.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a good discussion.
Yeah,
It was fun to be back on the
interesting
overreaction.
stuff.
We have to talk about it. I think my man Andrew's going for the Falcons.
I don't really have a dog in the race, but I am picking the Falcons. I think the matchup between Julio Jones and the Patriots secondary is just going to be too much for them. Julio Jones sitting at about 6'3", 6'4". Patriots cornerbacks are around 5'10", 5'11". I think he's just going to be able to win those 50-50 balls, and I think the pass rush of the Falcons is also going to be the difference. Sack leader Vic Beasley, he's going to come through. He's going to get to Tom Brady a couple times.
It's definitely going to be one to watch, I believe.
No, yeah, I think it's going to be a legendary match, man. Like one we talk about for sure. At least I
I'm
hope
super
so.
excited.
I think going into this, even though they had a phenomenal year, Atlanta, I just think that they were perceived as underdogs still. And I really, even though like the big names like the Cowboys or the Packers didn't make it, I just feel like it's so much more entertaining that way, because if it was, I'm a boys fan, of course. If it was Cowboys, Patriots, that's like probably the most despised like Super Bowl in a while.
Yeah, both people. A lot
Yeah.
of people hate both teams.
So it's nice that like someone Atlanta came in and it's just kind of like
I was actually surprised to learn, though, that the Patriots, there was a poll they had on ESPN the other day, that the Patriots are more hated than the Cowboys.
Wow,
Hey, look
there
at
we go.
that.
I'm not
We
surprised
won-
by that.
We
That's
won
something to be
something.
proud of.
I mean-
We won something.
So,
Oh, man.
awesome.
Interesting. But I can see. I can
Atlanta
see why.
needs
Just
to-
because they're always there and people get tired of seeing the
Atlanta
same
needs a
thing.
championship.
No matter what
They need
happens, go Vikings on my side. No matter if we're
shut your
0
mouth,
and 16
Yo,
or
Teddy, I'm so sorry.
No, man.
I'm sorry to hear that.
AP's leaving, though, by the way.
Yeah.
He probably would. I hope he does. Actually, I enjoyed his career.
It's rumored that he might be like going to the Giants, which would not be good for us Cowboys fans.
I don't think it'd be that bad either.
All right. Well, I believe we are back on the air. So, Brent, no, we're not. Just kidding.
No, we're not.
Goodbye, Facebook.
Bye, Facebook. We love you.
We'll see you in a bit.
Welcome back to Good Morning Texas Tech. It's about that time for your sports update, so let's get right into it. Starting with some NBA action in the East, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers at number 1 with a 33-15 record, followed by Boston, Toronto, Washington, Atlanta, Indiana, Chicago, and Charlotte, rounding out the 8 teams. In the West, we got the Golden State Warriors at number 1 with a 43-7 record, followed by the mighty San Antonio Spurs, the Houston Rockets, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Utah Jazz, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Portland Trail Blazers to round out the top 8 in the West. But the biggest news in all of sports, of course, is that football is back for all you football fans with a Super Bowl this weekend in Houston, Texas. H-Town stand up. We have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New England Patriots in what is building up to be a legendary match, which we will definitely be talking about most of on this show for sure. However, to end out the sports update, we have some Texas Tech news. Starting with football, word around campus is Texas Tech has gotten some good recruits and is recruiting pretty aggressively and heavily, especially in the offensive line category. Last but not least, though, we have men's basketball, which has been playing absolutely great. However, had some minor slip-ups, so we'll see what happens when they take on Oklahoma here in beautiful Lubbock, Texas, tomorrow at 6 p.m. in the United Supermarkets Arena. Go support your boys, and let's go back to Good Morning Texas Tech.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Medina, for that wonderful
and
sports
thank you, Mr.
update.
McConaughey, right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
All right.
Professor.
All right.
It's Professor McConaughey now.
Okay,
Dr.
so-
McConaughey.
As Brandon mentioned, word on the street is there's this thing going on Sunday.
Something,
it's like
bro.
some kind
Something's
of big
happening.
bowl. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be pretty super. from
Mega
what I hear.
bowl.
I don't
It's
know.
the 51st
Salad
one.
bowl.
The 51st. Wow, that's a lot of bowls.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bowls. But in all seriousness, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We got Pats, we got Falcons, and I thought we'd just take the next few minutes, go around and give our predictions and why your team is going to win. Let's go ahead and start off with Haylee.
Why?
Because I like to put you on the spot, that's why. Falcons, Patriots, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Patriots.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
So crushing.
The
Why?
Patriots, my brother's favorite team. So shout out to my little brother, and also I don't know.
Also, you don't know.
Also, you
That's
don't.
okay.
I don't. That's just.
Sometimes you just go with your
Hey, yeah,
gut.
a pick's a
Also,
pick.
I feel like a Patriot. If you listen to GMTT on Wednesday,
Yeah.
an actual Patriot could destroy a Falcon really easily.
Ooh, in like a
Ooh.
hand-to-hand combat
Like
match?
hand-to-hand
I don't think
combat?
so.
I know Falcons have large talons.
That's
They
what
do
I
have
said.
large talent.
Large talents. Make
But
that.
Patriots have guns, so I mean it's going to be a close
Okay.
battle to the death. But
I mean,
think-
no one's actually fighting to the death here. It's just a football game. Here.
no
Like,
to the death.
I mean, as cool as that would be, like that would be pretty hardcore. I would like to watch that.
That would be like gladiators.
A Patriot has a
That'd be pretty
musket.
rad.
They have one shot.
Okay, well,
Exactly.
Good
You
shots.
gotta take that into
we
account.
won the revolution, didn't we?
Yeah, but we weren't fighting Falcons.
Yeah. The British are actually Falcons, so
The Falcons are coming.
Well, I think the Falcons. My
Oh
vote's
my
the
God.
Patriots.
Okay. Mr. Andy Koke, your pick and why?
Matty Ice,
Oh, yes.
for sure. He has been on just a rampage.
Matt Ryan, Haley. He plays for the Falcons.
This year. And I was saying during like the Facebook Live that he, even though he was doing fantastic this year, he was still underrated coming into this. And I feel like he's still the underdog. So I'm going to say Atlanta, they deserve a championship. They need one. They need to bring it home to their new stadium.
Yeah.
All right. One for Patriots, one for Falcons.
I'm
Andrew
going
Marks.
Falcons. Matt Ryan.
Falcons.
Yeah, he's going to win the MVP at the end of the season. It'll be his. I think I already talked about it in the Facebook Live chat, but I'll say it again for over the air. There's two key factors for me, and it's two of the best players in football. I think the pass rush for the Falcons, Vic Beasley, NFL sack leader with 15.5 sacks. I think he gets Tom Brady a couple times. And on the flip side, the Patriots don't really have that much of a pass rush. So Matt Ryan's going to be able to sit back there all day and just pick them apart, throw it up to Julio Jones, who has about 3, 4, 5 inches of height on these cornerbacks for the New England Patriots. I think those are the two key difference makers. I say Falcons win 31-23, but I will say the reason why this is going to be a closer game and not a blowout, excuse me, is because the Patriots do not turn it over. Even though they started Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett this year, Brian, and Tom Brady, they only had 2 interceptions all season among all 3 quarterbacks.
That's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
So, Medina, since you are the sports person as well, I'm
was
going
a
to ask
good
for a
answer, Brian.
specific score as well as Andrew gave. So, your pick, why, and give me a score.
So Andrew's my brother, Doug. I love Andrew. He's my man.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
we never agree on picking games.
The thing is, just to give you some background,
Are you just gonna pick against him just to spite him, or
well,
what's
just
the deal here?
The thing is, I won the pick 'em on Overreaction on our show, so I've been picking pretty well, and I think I've learned in my years of watching football, you can't pick against Tom Brady. And so I'm going to take the Patriots, not because I want the Falcons to lose. I love to see a Falcons Super Bowl. I just think for my personal pick, I think I'm taking the Patriots because I think don't sleep on the Garrett Blunt as a running back. And then don't, like you said, they only had 2 interceptions, which means they started more quarterbacks than they had interceptions. That's insane. So Tom Brady's the man. They could get it done. I'm going to say, on our show, I said a little low score, and I think I'm going to go a little higher because I'm kind of worried because he's been going kind of high, so now I'm getting kind of scared.
The over-under for
the points
for the points for the game is 59, so...
Yeah, so I'm going to say, personally, it's a good scoring game. I'm going to say 28-24 would be like my, or 27-24. That'd be my.
Can I just say one thing for all these people who think like Tom Brady is God, basically, you never go against Tom Brady.
Here comes a hot take.
Eli Manning beat that man twice in the Super Bowl, so let's not act like Matt Ryan can't.
Well, he beat their defense though.
Yeah.
So. But
they were close Super Bowls. They were close Super Bowls.
Yeah. As you know, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here because I am a Giants fan. So, but I'm really trying to play devil's advocate. Shut up.
But look at those 2 Super Bowls. If you remember them, you're a Giants fan. So, what was the key difference in those Super Bowls? The pass rush, Justin Tuck and Michael Strahan.
Absolutely.
Strahan.
Falcons had one of the best pass rushes in the NFL with the best pass rusher and Vic Beasley.
Yep. I'm going to go with my heart on this one. I always go underdog. Falcons pick up the win. I think it's going to be a relatively low-scoring game. We'll see what happens. But Julio Jones.
Wait.
What?
I just want to point this out.
Go.
Last year, who was in the Super Bowl last year? Tell me who it was.
Who was Denver versus Carolina.
Okay, so everyone on GMTT voted for Carolina. They all said that they were going to get it. I went with Denver, and guess who won?
Papa
Denver.
John's won.
So now that's why I went Patriots, bro. I gotta go with my girl Haylee because she's 1-0 right
All
now.
right.
Yeah.
Bold claims by Haylee Uptergrove. Well,
I was so excited.
Who's
when
Papa
won.
John gonna kiss when they win? Is the real question.
Mama John?
No,
Mama John.
Last year it was.
on that note, we're going to go ahead and end this sports update. Let us know who you got for this Super Bowl Sunday. We'll be back with some music news with Mr. Andy Koke. But for the next song, we got A Kilo, You Won't Know Where You Stand. Keep it locked to the left this Friday, GMTT, baby. All right, we got a minute and a half with you people. So next up, we're going to be talking some music. So a little sneak preview for the Facebook folks.
We got Grammys coming up and performances. Got some big names coming your way.
Yeah.
Cool.
New announcement from the Carters, and then
Hey, Mr. Carter. That's all I know of Beyonce.
And
That's
then
disrespectful.
Amazing artists in the indie genre are coming together to make a compilation album to support foundations that a lot of the Trump administration are against. So instead of performing at the inauguration, they all banded together to have proceeds go towards these foundations, which I'll talk about later. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. All these people had great albums over the summer. Fantastic albums.
You know what? I don't think I told them to put in that instrumental for you, Koke, so you might have to do this silently. Is that cool with you?
I can do like a background beat.
Yeah, we could get like Brandon to beatbox for you.
Silence is gold.
Yes.
You've only got like 3 minutes when we come back till the half hour.
That's fine.
You only got like 30 seconds, so say bye.
Bye, Facebook.
Bye, Facebook. We love you. We'll be back
Bye,
in a bit.
Facebook.
So much.
I'm a Twitter guy. Good morning, Lubbock. Here is your weekly dose of music news. The 59th annual Grammys are coming to CBS on February 12th. There'll be amazing performances. Some big ones to name right off the bat. Gary Clark Jr., Sturgill Simpson had an amazing past couple years. Chance the Rapper is coming on. Other big names like Daft Punk and The Weeknd are also said to perform. And there are news going around that Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters and Daft Punk with A Tribe Called Quest, it might be a little iffy at this point. There are rumors that they might not perform together, but I would love to see that. Chance the Rapper is going to be performing. He is nominated for Best New Artist, Best New Rap Album, and Best Rap Performance. Hopefully, Chance gets the sweep. He does his own thing. He's his own creative spirit, and honestly, an X factor coming into all of these nominations. Well, the Carters are expecting twins, and this is amazing for Beyonce fans out there. Yeah, let's slow clap. She just announced that over social media and her website that she is expecting twins. She released a bunch of amazing photos. Brandon Medina can also attest to this. They are fantastic. There are also some aquatic ones on cars. I can't describe.
Some aquatic ones.
What? They're underwater.
Yeah,
she's like a mermaid. She's so beautiful. So there are going to be 2 more additions to the Carter clan, and I can't wait. For me, bets are already out for the names. So.
So Blue Ivy is going to be a an older sibling.
I guess
so. Good for Blue. You're my boy.
Older sister Blue.
It's a girl.
Oh, you're my girl, Blue.
Nailed it.
Lastly, Angel Olsen, Mitski, Whitney, and a bunch of other fantastic artists banded together to create this amazing compilation album called Our First 100 Days, which has new songs by Mountain Goats, Tori Moore, and many, many more to raise money for funds for foundations like All Above All, which supports abortion laws, People's Climate Movement, which is more about the environment. All of the proceeds, which is going to be a minimum donation of $30, you can add more to that if you'd like. All the proceeds will go towards those foundations, but then also other artists like Arcade Fire, who put out a new album in a long, long time, I Give You Power, which you can hear on KTXT. All their proceeds are going to ACLU. So a lot of these artists that obviously are opposed to Donald Trump want to benefit their talents towards the foundations like Planned Parenthood that a lot of the Trump administration aren't. So this kind of like affects what people perceive the Trump administration to be like. Obviously, there wasn't that many artists that performed, or well-known artists, in my opinion, like Three Doors Down, that performed at his inauguration. There was a lot of people that didn't want to play at that concert, like Katy Perry. Not making another appearance. I'm sorry, but. I like what these artists are doing. Instead of protesting in their way, they want to use their music to basically give donations. So it's really, really cool, especially because all these artists put out amazing albums over the summer that I personally do love. So I admire that they want to go this way, go this direction. So if you guys want to add anything to those stories.
I would love to, but we have to move on to a half-hour news update. But in Facebook, we can debate Jay-Z's and Beyonce's baby names.
Let's do baby names.
Purple Pearl.
Right. First, news and weather update from Haylee Uptergrove.
All right. Good morning, Texas Tech. Here is your KTXT half-hour news update. A San Antonio judge says Uncle Sam owes the county $22 million for keeping illegal immigrants on ice while the feds work out what to do next. WOAI-TV is reporting Judge Nelson Wolf wants Bexar County taxpayers to know that reimbursements promised by Washington have declined by 80% in the last 12 years. Wolf recently fired off letters demanding payment of Immigrations and Customs Enforcement officials and to the Department of Justice. He also sent copies of the letters to state officials and the state congressional delegation. A New Mexico bill could cause a battle over a border wall along the state's southern border. New Mexico House Bill 292 wouldn't let state land be used, sold, or transferred to facilitate the construction of the new border wall. New Mexico Land Commissioner Aubrey Dunn sent a letter to President Trump on Wednesday asking him to trade federal-controlled land outside of the border area for state-controlled land on the border, hoping to get more valuable land for the state. But state lawmakers backing the bill believe the wall isn't for the public's good, even if the state benefited from it financially. Meanwhile, U.S. Senator Michelle Lujan Grisham has introduced Build Bridges Not Walls Act in an effort to stop the border wall. The Tarrant County Medical Examiner is investigating the death of a 5-year-old elementary school student who died yesterday, not long after collapsing in the school cafeteria during lunch hour. The Fort Worth Star-Telegram reports the pre-K student is being identified as Belan Maldonado. She was taken from Fort Worth Heights Elementary School to Cook Children's Hospital about an hour later. The cause of death was not given. And finally, actor and activist George Takei is taking aim at President Trump, and he's finding a receptive crowd in Dallas. The 79-year-old, best known as one of the original cast members of the TV show Star Trek, last night told students at SMU's McFarland Auditorium that he remembers his family being rounded up during World War II for no other reason than being of Japanese descent. Takei lambasted Trump for his efforts to keep refugees out of his country and for the travel ban on people from mostly Muslim nations. That does it for your KTXT News Update. I'm Haylee. Y'all keep it locked to the left. We have weather with DG coming up next.
Thanks, Haylee. The National Weather Service forecast for Lubbock and vicinity. Mostly sunny today. Highs in the upper 40s with east winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tonight. Lows in the lower 30s and partly sunny and warmer tomorrow. High Saturday in the upper 60s expected. Looks like this dry and warm trend will continue through the weekend and into the early part of next week. Breezy conditions forecast on Monday. Currently in Lubbock, mostly cloudy skies, 23 degrees. Wind is from the east at 14 miles per hour, creating a wind chill of 11 degrees. Coming up next here on Good Morning Texas Tech, some music for you. White Lies with Don't Want to Feel It All. On the Raider, 88.1.
Hey ho, hello Facebook audience. You're tuned into Good Morning Texas Tech. As you can see watching our video, the guys are switching positions, eating donuts, all that good stuff. Getting ready for our next segment. We're going to have some awesome guests here to talk to y'all about some very important stuff going on in the Lubbock community. So y'all keep it locked. It's going to be great.
You got plans for this weekend, Haylee?
I do, actually. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm going to? I'm going to go to the Ball Folk Festival.
Oh, you're going to? Yeah.
I
You
am,
interviewed
on
Chris and Roger on Wednesday's show, and so you're going out to Luca. Are you going to go dancing?
I am. I'm pumped. I'm going to meet Mr.
Are you going to wear pumps? Oh, I'm just kidding. That's awesome.
I'm very excited. It'll be fun. I'm going on Saturday.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and of course this weekend is First Friday Art Trail.
Tonight. We're going to be at Culture Clothing tonight.
Yeah, so the station, all the kids will be out there at Culture Clothing. That's located at, it's in that strip mall over there.
By J&B and Capital Pizza.
I can never remember. Is that like 26th in Boston, I think?
Yeah.
So check that out. They're going to be doing a live remote tonight.
Yeah, we are. And, it's going to be epic.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on. So we have about 2 minutes left. We're still repositioning our guests in the studio, and we're just filling time. Once again, we can't play the music on Facebook. They'll nail us with copyright, so we're talking between. So in order to fill the silence you're hearing from us right now.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Deej, when did you put that new mic in? Over Christmas?
Actually, I put it in Wednesday.
There you go.
We've had it since Christmas. It was some of the equipment that we ordered over the holiday break, and we got it. And they're using it in the weirdest ways possible. They've twisted. I won't get into it.
Everything's fine.
There's another microphone in there, so it's in use. That's all I'll say.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's all going to be okay. Deej, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Let's see who's playing. We've got the Patriots and the Falcons.
Same.
I'm actually hoping for Atlanta on this one.
The Falcons?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I feel like people don't really like the Patriots anymore.
Yeah, you think the Pats are they'll probably win anyway, but I'll be rooting for the Falcons.
Okay. I feel like people don't like the Patriots right now. Is that like a well-founded belief?
People don't like the Patriots right now?
Or just in general?
Well, what was it? Inflategate? Is that what the whole thing was involving the Pats?
Inflategate?
Or Deflategate? I can't remember.
Deflategate? I don't know.
So, yeah. What I do like, what I find hilarious is the meme going around the internet right now about not my Super Bowl.
Hashtag not my Super Bowl.
So
Yes.
Because Dallas didn't win. So
it will be my halftime. I'm really excited to see Lady Gaga perform.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm telling you, Dallas is cursed, but that's another story.
Oh,
So we got less than 30 seconds to go. We're going to switch everything back, but shout out to Facebook.
Good talk, Deej.
Yeah, good talk. Keep it like to left.
Hello, welcome back to Friday Good Morning Texas Tech, everybody. We have a couple of special guests with us on the program for this morning. We have Mr. Ralph Barrera, otherwise known as the Rafa for all you old school GMTT fans out there, making his grand return. Also with us on the program, we have Robert Schaefer, Regional Evaluator from Managed Care Center. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for being on the program this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your program, what the mission is.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, my name is Ralph Barrera, and with me is Regional Evaluators. He goes by Bob, or Safari Bob. He wanted to
Safari Bob.
Safari Bob.
I dig
Bob Schaefer. But we're with Prevention Resource Center. So in Texas, I believe there's 11 regions.
Yeah, there's 11 regions from the health services.
Health services.
Those regions.
We are Region 1, so we cover 41 counties from Linscomb, county, down Dahlem, all the way down to, I think it's Brownfield. Is that the lowest one
Basically,
we go to?
we go from Tahoka to Oklahoma.
There you go.
And from
small
Oklahoma to New Mexico.
And we offer statistics and data to give to adults. Now, if you remember back in the day, do you remember having like shattered dreams come to your high school?
Yes.
Or like the car wreck and the Sarah McLachlan song and
Yep.
somebody walking in like, this guy's dead, so don't talk to him in class. And then there's Red Ribbon Week, and there's Dare to Do Drugs. Well, the PRC was a big staple in that. They no longer do that anymore because have you ever seen a car wreck at a high school unless it's an actual legit car wreck?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I talked about drunk driving. Well, they changed their whole motive there to say, okay, well, we're going to instead of educating the youths about alcohol abuse and drug abuse, we're going to educate the adults. Why? Because parents know their kids better than we do.
That's true.
Plus, the literature seems to indicate that kids aren't affected by scare tactics because they have a lower sense of consequence than adults. So by providing data to the adults, the idea is the adults will do something about it.
Right. Instead of, like you said, Ralph, that, you got a guest speaker coming in, barging in and say, hey, don't do drugs, kids, which may not always be the most effective approach, using that data instead, telling the adults that way, maybe they can communicate to their kids, the mission that you guys are trying to get out. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, because the adults are the stakeholders in communities, okay?
Right.
They can build we work with coalitions, okay? So it could be a group of moms, a group of dads, or a group of just people in the community that say, okay, we don't want the statistics of teen alcohol abuse or using synthetic marijuana to be high in our community. So we're going to get together and educate our youth, whether it's through small programs in the classroom, talking to parents, having PTA meetings, but we offer services to train those adults on how to educate the youths.
So how is it that you go out and gather these statistics, this data? How is it that you gather this research in the first place?
That's a Bob question.
Well, we go to different organizations and look for regional specific data on how kids consume or abuse alcohol, marijuana, prescription drugs. That's our mandate from the state. So there are places, school districts sometimes do their own surveys. We get data from different hospitals in all those 41 counties, and we try to evaluate and coalesce all that data into a picture for a regional needs assessment so people can see how kids are consuming these substances and maybe some of the indicators or the risk and protective factors that contribute to that. So we work with coalitions like Impact Futures in Amarillo is a coalition that does a survey for several of the school districts around Amarillo, including Amarillo, and so we get a good idea of what the Amarillo kids are doing. The YWCA did the 40 developmental assets survey last year, so we got a good idea of what the Lubbock area students are saying about these substances. And then, of course, the Texas School Survey is done every 2 years, and it is all the school districts can be randomly selected to participate, so you get a good idea of what's going on both in the states and then also broken down by region. So so I get that information and report it in various ways. I do reports, I do the regional needs assessment, I do infographics, we do talks, we talk to people, we do presentations, trying to get the information, the data out to people.
Now, how often is this data collected? Is it a monthly thing, annually? How often do you take this data and then, kind of distribute this information throughout the region?
Well, we're constantly collecting data and constantly distributing it. So there are times, like every 2 years, the TSS comes out, so that gives us a good idea. And then the rest of the time is contingent on how other people collect data. So like in Hockley County, there's a coalition called Voices. They just collected data in Hockley County for adolescents on how they use those sources. And so I just got access to that to start the analysis, and then I'll put out a report for them so they can say, this is what's going on statewide, this is what's going on region-wide, and here's what's going on in Hockley County. So now we can do some prevention programs, or we can start to combat it.
Okay, so for specifically the Lubbock community, what are some of your most notable findings that you've found in recent times? What kind of data have you collected specifically for this area?
Well, there is one, we call them startling statistic, if you will, about about Lubbock as compared to the state and the region. So statewide, about 44% adolescents, and the state defines adolescents as 6 to 12th graders for these purposes. There's multiple ways to define it, but 44% of adolescents or 6 to 12th graders have tried marijuana at least once. Now, regionally, it's about 22.5%. So the region as a whole is below the state average. But Lubbock, they had 46% of Lubbock area adolescents reported trying it at least once. And so that may indicate that there's a higher use, or there might be a bigger problem for adolescents using marijuana. And when you couple that with the fact that how adolescents perceive the harm of marijuana is free-falling, that could be a bad sign. Because whether you think marijuana should be used recreationally or not, I don't think most people think it's a good idea for a 6th grader to consume marijuana. So this can be an issue.
And, I think part of that has to do with social media. People, you see a lot of articles and posts about, about marijuana not being so harmful, from these websites and other kind of videos they put out. Do you think that would be maybe a contribution as to why there's an increase of adolescents trying out marijuana?
Well, the Colorado survey just came out, and of course they're watching Colorado very closely because that was the first place that did recreational use and making that legal. And the use for adolescents has gone very high in Colorado just because they have access to it. So I think what is well, I think what's most important for all this from the internet perspective is that I think a lot of adolescents get the sense that there's nothing wrong with it, there's no harm, and that it's already legal. So I talk to a lot of parents, even in the region, that thinks marijuana is legal in Texas. So those are the, and we track the data, and the whole notion that marijuana is harmful is free falling. There's fewer and fewer people in general, and certainly adolescents, that think it's harmful. In Austin, I was in Austin. There was a local newspaper. They were talking about legalizing marijuana, and they referred to marijuana as a vegetable. And so that kind of rhetoric is common to where it makes it seem more benign than it is. For adolescents who are developing their brains are developing, marijuana can be dangerous.
So for parents that you speak with about these issues that you speak of, what's generally their response, their take on it, especially when it comes to marijuana? As you said, the notion of it is less stigmatizing than it used to be. What's generally the response there?
Well, most parents are concerned. They have, if you track the numbers, they're much more likely to think marijuana is harmful than their children, even if they use marijuana.
Right.
So I think most parents are just shocked by that, and they don't want their kids to use it in general. Of course, the biggest problem in our region isn't marijuana. I mean, if you go by the amount of use, it's alcohol still.
Yeah.
And that's the one that most people are completely apathetic to. I mean, no one would say we should allow kids to drink, and no one would say that we should allow kids to drink and drive. But there's a lot of parents that allow kids to drink in their home, and so that's really our biggest problem, I think, region-wide, even over marijuana use.
So for anyone who's listening right now and they're interested in contributing or educating themselves on this topic, where can they go to access information, more of this data that you guys are putting out?
We've got a website, prc1.org. Right now we're working on our social medias, getting them up to date. And so you can check our website, and we have our little, what do you call those things, little links, or the
hyperlinks?
Hyperlinks, yeah, there you go. The hyperlinks, we do have a Twitter, we do have Facebook. I don't think we have an Instagram, but you can find all those on the bottom of our webpage, and that page you'll find reports that Bob, the evaluator, puts up, statistics for the 41 counties, and just get some research and learn some stuff. And the funny thing is, when we were building up setting up the time, and I was talking to Bob, I said, Bob, you got to come with me and talk about this, because you're the stat man. You crunch numbers, you know the stuff. And, Bob always has a statistic for everything. As soon as I said that, he leans back in his chair. He goes, I think I got a statistics on Texas college kids. Like, I was so intrigued, like, what do you know? So he actually brought a chart of statistics of students in Texas colleges. I don't know if, Bob, you want to read a couple? Or we're going to...
You're good. You can finish your point.
Well, the most interesting thing is that, there's a lot of data on there, but like 82% of college kids have tried alcohol. 22.5% of Texas male students have used marijuana in the past month. So, there's a lot of information that they're out there that alcohol and substance abuse is, a significant problem on college campuses. I'm sure that's no big revelation. So,
Absolutely. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for being on the program. If you want to check out some more information, more statistics, go ahead and check out prc1.org. Educate yourselves. Thank you once again, gentlemen. If you need a link to it as well, we'll be posting it on our social media. As for now, we'll be back in just a few minutes to kind of wrap it up, give some announcements for stuff going on the Raiders, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a few.
Hey there, Facebook. Hope y'all enjoyed that awesome interview. We're going to go ahead and we'll get that information posted up on our social medias sites, like DG calls them, pretty soon, probably after the show sometime. But yeah, we're winding down here. Got about 7 minutes left on the show. But we're going to go ahead after this and talk about some stuff we've got going on here at the station. This weekend, or this evening, we're going to be at Culture Clothing like DG and I were talking about before this. And it's going to be super lit tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a band. We're going to be broadcasting that. We love hanging out at Culture Clothing with all of our buds there. They're pretty cool. So it's going to be cool. Miss Medina, I'm looking at your comments. I'm very sorry we didn't get to answer those. He had some good facts, though. What is legal and what is street are two totally different things. Yeah, that's really true. I don't know. This is maybe just me spitballing in the wind. But I think marijuana right now is such an interesting topic on just what is legal and what's not. Like in the United States, I think it's weird that we can have certain states that have legalized it and certain states that haven't. And like a lot of people said, like just keeping it illegal means that more people are just going to try and get it illegally. Whether that means that they should legalize it or not, I don't think so. But I mean, I don't know. It's a very different topic. And I think if you talk to a lot of different people, you're going to get a lot of different answers on how they feel about whether it should be legalized, whether it shouldn't be, just all of that. So if y'all want to comment on our video and let us know what you think, that'd be cool. That'd be pretty political. I don't know if that's something y'all want to do, but yeah, it's something. I'm glad we got to talk about that and have some cool guests on the show. We're going to try and keep this theme of interviews up over the course of time for the rest of the semester. We like having guests come on. Anybody that has a cause or something they want to talk about is definitely welcome to come on the show, and we'll get you hooked up with an interview, and it'll be great. It'll be super, super great. I think we're getting close to time to start the music again, but they just left me here alone to ramble to all of you wonderful Facebook people. Okay, we got about 30 seconds left. So I think we're just going to go ahead and toss it back to music. Right, Jamie? Yes? Okay, cool. Facebook, thanks for listening to me talk. We'll be back on the show in a couple seconds. So, bye.
I think we have time.
Welcome back, folks. It's Friday GMTT. Thank you, Haylee Uptergrove, for holding down the fort on Facebook Live.
That was so good.
That was awesome.
That was so good.
The rambling queen herself, Haylee Uptergrove,
You guys left
in
me
action.
all by myself.
Oh my God, that was absolutely hysterical.
That was pure radio gold.
Well, welcome back, folks. In case you just missed it, we just went over a very fascinating interview with the Prevention Resource Center Region 1 about substance abuse and how you can contribute and educate yourself on adolescents who may be abusing things they should not be. But I thought we'd just take the next few minutes, go ahead, give some shameless plugs, announcements, all that stuff. First of all, we will be back at Culture Clothing later this evening for the First Friday Art Trail, so you can come out and meet your favorite KTXT personalities like myself. I think Koke will be there for a little bit.
I'll be there for a little bit.
Andrew Marks will be there as well.
Yes, sir.
Brandon Medina, are you going?
I will definitely be there, brother.
That's what I like to hear. Haylee, are you going?
I am going. I'll be there for the the beginning and like all the way up to the middle half of the show.
So
All
yeah,
the way, huh?
The
To
whole
the middle of the half of the show.
The whole Good Morning Texas Tech cast, man.
Yeah, exactly. So you can meet your Friday GMTT crew and say hello. Maybe get yourself some free swag, all that cool stuff, and
Free autographs, everything.
free autographs.
Swag.
Exactly. I mean,
Of course, they're free.
right?
Like, have you seen Brandon's signature, man? It's like, it's pure gold.
It is.
He charges. It's good.
It's extra,
I've
but
seen
I like it.
I've seen it.
It just says Big Boppy. It's all it says.
Oh man, what a cool guy you are, Brandon. In case you're not sure what time we'll be out there, we'll be there from 6 to about 9-ish. We'll be hanging out, listening to some live music, so you could come out and chat. And if you can't come out and meet us, then of course tune in to the Raider 88.1. And of course, to keep up with what else is going on at the station, you can check us out on all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, all at the Raider 88.1 to keep up with your favorite shows and programs and whatever the heck else we got going on. Whatever the heck else we got going on. It's good to be back, y'all. It's good to be back. This is the first week that we had shows as well. And we're back with a vengeance, baby. It's good stuff.
I'm excited, man. Next week, though, man, you guys gotta
Next
come
week,
make
though.
it on Beats with Big Boppy, the first
And
episode.
Polar Opposites next
And
week.
Polar
Yeah,
Opposites
you guys
starting
start
back
up
next
too.
week. I didn't even have to give the plug
Hey,
myself.
real
Thank you, man.
quickly, though, from the sports department, everybody be sure to tune in at 3 o'clock. Derek Holland, he's a PhD student and professor here at Texas Tech. He's starting his sports show, and he will be from 3 to 4 p.m. It's going to be awesome, so be sure to tune in for that and support him.
Awesome,
look out for it.
Oh, man.
I don't have
Also-
a show to plug because I'm not a DJ.
Big shout out to Nick Hay coming in clutch with the donuts for our morning routine as well. We sure needed that little sugar rush as well. And for Daylight Donuts for hooking it up with a little discount, giving us some
Thank
discounted
you,
prices on the
for
donuts.
Daylight.
You guys are the bomb. Thank you so much for that. We're definitely going to come back as regulars
Have
for
y'all
sure.
seen that
each
meme
Friday.
of like a picture? It's like a picture of a donut shop that's Daylight Donuts, but the L's gone, so it just says Dayite. And it's like
Dayite donut.
Dayite.
Oh, those donuts died. You know, they're not
That's the way you.
best.
That's the way you end the show right there.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Once again, it is so good to be back on GMTT. Don't forget to tune in next Friday, same time, same place, same people, and show a little love to the ladies as well on Wednesdays for Good Morning
Yes.
Texas Tech, Women Crush Wednesday edition. But that's it for us. We out. Keep it locked to the left.
Peace.
All right, it's Undercurrents. Greetings, one and all. Hope you're having a great New Year so far.